tonight's tactical enhancement is Matso's Mango Beer. Tonight we're playing Black Powder, somewhere around about 800 odd points, and it is it's in Spain today. We've got a combination of the Spanish, shit tons of them, the British, some Portuguese in their midst, and they're attacking a whole shocking amount of French that are in a big long defensive line along here with their cavalry in the middle. Now, Chris,
yes, sir.
Talk us through what's going on.
What's going on is back behind the French is the port of Ovida, and the British have been told to basically capture the port of Ovida.
Right.
And the French are going to try and stop us getting it.
Right, and because it's Spain, the Spanish are here. I should explain what's going on with the Spanish. We've got a unit of light cav at the front and 2 units of dragoons, heavy cav. We've got artillery here, foot artillery, ready to fire, and we've got a horse artillery at the back because there's nowhere else to put them. We've got 2 brigades of 4 battalions. They've got 1 light that's at the front here running along. Then we've got each column basically is 1 brigade, and the lights belong to this brigade. The ones in white that look suspicious to the Austrian are actually line, and the ones that look like something else entirely are militia. We're using the standards. I'm actually buying Spanish at the moment, so we're going to see how they work. So it looks very subtle, as you can see. And on this side, we have a whole shitload of French. Gentlemen, what's going on with the French?
We are the best people, and you should surrender now because we have eaten our garlic. And
well, they've been saying that for many years at this point.
We have the best wine, and yes.
So we have a French brigade here. It is it's a line brigade with a foot battery.
Right.
Leadership 7 general.
Now, importantly, that foot battery is limbered at the moment.
At this point, he can change it if he wants.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that'll happen.
I'm not afraid of your silly guns.
But you'll have to target these anyway, or that one, because that's the closest clear target.
Yes.
In the middle, we have 2 brigades of dragoons, 2 regiments of dragoons, and a regiment of craziers who don't have a cuirass.
Oh, okay.
Horse gun.
Right.
2 regiments of chasseurs, light cavalry over there. I think they're leadership 8 generals.
Yep.
Another small French brigade in the middle of 3 with a leger or light infantry 1 in the middle. Leadership 7 again. And General Marcus Cookers 8. He has a French brigade over there consisting of 4 battalions and a foot gun as well with leadership 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so the French are fairly standard fare, but they're solid as always. The British also very solid.
Yep.
The Spanish have not been upgraded in any way whatsoever, so their statistics represent the biases and the cultural bigotry of the authors of the books.
True. I'm sorry, but he's speaking another language. I do not understand it.
So the main problem, I mean, they're unreliable, I can deal with that, but the main problem is, well, actually, no, there's several main problems. One is they're wavering, so as soon as they lose a morale point, they have to do a morale test to see if they bugger off the table entirely and just disintegrate under fire. And they don't do their tests on a 4+ like most troops do, they do their tests on a 5+, which means unless they're in attack column, in attack column they're 4s instead of 3s to do their morale save. So I'm kind of curious as to how the Spanish are going to go. I think it's going to be, we're going to have to embrace the concept of acceptable losses.
What, you're going to lose? Yes, we know this.
Yes, so on that note, the Allied forces have the initiative, they get to attack.
Bonjour!
We will check in at the end of turn 1 for all and bloody sundry. End of Allied turn 1, and it's attack. Everyone is attacking except for these guys who don't know which direction the enemy is. So we rolled up 2 moves on the cavalry. That was for the general's reroll. We needed 3 to connect with those guns, but we could have got them while they were limbered. Unfortunately, we didn't. We're sitting 2 inches in front, so these light cavalry have been designated our grape magnets, are ablative cavalry. The skirmishers are doing the job. They're barreled headlong in, and the other brigade is right behind. So that's not bad. We're not going to be sitting in the open getting shot at too much just yet. Cannon, both the Spanish and the British cannon all did absolutely nothing. These ones didn't even move onto the hill, and everyone else missed. Meanwhile, the British with the Portuguese in the middle must have rolled up, what, 3 moves?
Two.
2 moves. Oh, okay.
They got 3, they got 2.
I see. Okay, that's why the gap. So they're moving at a fair old clip, and they will do all right. Even if they're only at this range, they'll be shooting reasonably well at the French and holding these guys in a contested position. So I think it's going to turn into a rollicking shit show over here, but we should have a very solid centre for quite some time to come. And on that note, we shall move on to the French, turn 1. And of French turn 1. And, well, the first thing they did was fire canister at point blank range into my marauders, who were slightly discouraged and fell back 1 move. He also poured a whole lot of musket fire into them and another cannon. There was another unit in the middle there that took 1 shot and 1 shot only from some random musket balls, took 1 wound and decided to fuck off. Now, I've been warned that tends to happen with Spanish cavalry because they got the unwavering rule. And I hope they didn't cost very many points. That was very disappointing. These guys should have run away, and who would have blamed them? But the other guys are, yeah, what can I say? Now, the French charged my skirmishers. I decided to keep them there because running away they would have been useless. And it just would have freed things up for Sean to charge with other guys into these chaps. As it is, they're jamming the line up nicely. Now you will notice that the French have been a little bit preoccupied by the massive charge of Spanish down the flank, and there's a whole lot of them curling in this direction. But not a lot of movement happening in the rest of the French line. A couple of dice hopped out here and there, and really nothing happened at all. All the fun's over here at the moment. But you can see they're stirring for a fight with all these guys moving into position here. So on that note, in the fight, the skirmishers actually did alright for themselves, but naturally Sean rolled up his saves. My saves are not very good with skirmishers, they're really crap. Yes, and we did shoot at them and disorder them, which was nice. We scored a couple of 6s when they barreled on in.
2 6s.
2 6s, yeah, so they're disordered, which is good. Anyway, on to the Allies, turn 2. And correct me if I'm mistaken, this is this is Allied turn 2, right?
Correct.
Right, good lord. Alright, with the initiative moves, we managed to get these guys immediately up here. Pulled these guys back behind the hill away from that cannon. He used the general to cajole this lot into moving up, ready to fight. Took a bit of doing. And of course these guys completely and utterly failed to do a damn thing. They didn't move at all. We fired some cannon lengthways down here, and I think I put a wound on these infantry maybe, from memory. One of the things we did though was we moved these infantry, because these guys had charged forward, we moved these guys at an angle, we shot this lot, took a wound off and disordered them, so that was good. The British horses charged this unit here, which proceeded to smash the living Jesus out of them, and then that unit of British cavalry fled the field. Then the unit that's supporting them fled the field, and they overran into these guys, who got knocked back 1-4 move, and they took 2 casualties doing it, but they put 2 casualties in these guys, so these guys are shaken, and that's not bad actually, all things considered. So a whole lot of sporadic shooting happened. General Chris, did anything interesting happen with the shooting?
Yes, we did a few wounds on the French in the middle.
Yep. So they've been belted, they've been belted, and they've been belted. So the British shooting is achieving something, that's reassuring. Skirmishers, I noticed, are way out in the open over there. What are they doing?
Shooting at these guys.
Oh, okay.
The disaster was the wiping out of them.
Yeah, so the disaster was the cavalry self-destructing on contact with the French. So the Spanish are a bit of a mess, but by some miracle they actually are still here. This was a dead tie, skirmishing light infantry versus French line. Over here, both the French and the Spanish rolled absolute crap, which of course meant the Spanish lost, because that's a 20-point unit versus a 32-point unit. And I'm not sure what else to say, apart from those cannon are going to have fun in just a moment. We can't deal with everything yet, but we're occupying a flank rather enthusiastically. On that note, over to the French, turn 2. End of French, turn 2. So they sent cavalry at these guys originally, forced them into square, and the cavalry buggered off, along with their friends that were shaken. These guys charged, but they only got one move, so they didn't quite make it into combat with the unit that had been pushed into square. The cannon here blasted at my infantry, which fell back to here. They only took one wound, but they buggered off. Because they're wavering, although fortunately they didn't just disintegrate, so that's something. But because these guys, the way they'd moved, it jammed up these guns, so they didn't have anything to shoot at. And then in the melee, the Spanish frankly punched well above their weight. These skirmishers are still here. Actually knocked a wound or two off of these chaps.
We're actually Italians.
Yeah, we're using stand-ins until I get mine assembled and painted. And over here, this bashed up unit of line infantry actually beat the French, although the French did stick around. I'm a bit surprised at the moment. Pleasantly surprised. Over here, these guys formed up into various positions, and a lot of shooting happened over here. Wounds being knocked off of both sides in the firefight. And the cavalry did a heroic charge from behind that building around there, trying to get some skirmishers who buggered off into the woods there. Those skirmishers. But they rolled up 2 moves instead of the 3 they needed, so they're just sitting around in the middle of an open field in front of a battery of cannon, which is exactly where we like it. Anything else of note, gentlemen?
Not really. Over here, the Crackadors got pushed back into the flank.
Yes, this lot in here. Common sense got the better of them. Skirmishers live in woods. Alright, on that note, it is over to the Ally side, and we'll see if we can get... 2/3 of the British aren't actually doing anything at the moment. I'll be very curious to see what happens next. So we'll check in at the end of Allied turn 3. End of turn 3 for the Allies, and just as I was getting some confidence in the Spanish, we charged some dragoons into the flank of these guys, somehow managed to lose, and then they fucked off on a 3. We charged these guys with a unit of line, and we're hitting on 3s, they're hitting on 4s, and somehow we managed to lose and they fucked off on a 3. Over here, we had a pretty good fight, but yeah, nobody won. And over here, the skirmishers that had been surprising everybody ceased surprising people and fucked off. Now, one of my cannons here got a shot on something, that was okay. These guys took a wound off, so they're no longer shaken. Now, over here, these guys shot at the cavalry that the cannon had hit. It was there, and they fell back over there. They rolled very well to stick around. And an awful lot of fire just got put into everything in front of the British line. General Chris,
Yes?
did you do much? I mean, you put some wounds on those heavy cav. Anything else exciting happened? Nothing much, apparently. Alright, well,
Yes, General Chris.
I was just seeing, did anything exciting happen? You put a few rounds on them?
Shook this.
Oh, they're shaking good.
We put more wounds on that,
Yep.
and we annoyed the thrashers.
Alright. I think the British need to be more aggressive. They need to learn something from these heroic suicide troops. On that note, I think we better get into the French turn 3. French turn 3, and they seem to have figured out a little bit of what they were trying to do. Firstly, over on the beleaguered Spanish side, these guys finally beat the guys they were fighting against and actually rolled a 3 for morale, and they disappeared. These guys had charged a unit in the flank, and I didn't roll a single hit, but I only took 1 wound. Of course, I then rolled badly for morale, but they didn't disappear. They just ran away through 2 units, disordering them, and ended up over here. So I'm getting a lesson in what it's going to be like fighting with the French. Sorry, fighting with the Spanish. Let's see. These guys moved up a bit. These guys are no longer disordered, but they are shaken. These guys are no longer disordered. Are they? They're not shaken, though, are they? They're just slightly wounded. These guys moved up in order to get in my way. Now, he redeployed his cannon here with a single move and started blasting away at the English at point blank.
Horse cavalry, so they can.
Oh, they're horse cav. I thought that was
Those are
infantry.
horse cav.
All right. Either way, they had scope to move even for their infantry, but they and the infantry blattered at them, got them shaken. What else happened with all the shit? It looks like they've been shaken.
The Highlanders did the
Standing charge?
shoot and charge.
Yes, and that looks like they're still there, which is reassuring.
Yeah, but no one did any wounds.
So there's a bit of fight happening on the right flank now.
5 1s and 2s and 1 3.
All right, so there's been some terrible dice rolls on the sides of the French. That's reassuring.
Yeah. We are going to relieve them of this command
Some cavalry here redeployed to get away from the skirmishers that had shaken them.
to go have some French onion soup. To be
I
more French.
believe that's the extent of it, and of course Sean's now doing accents. So that's probably a good time to shift to the Allied turn 4, I think we're going into. End of Allied turn 4. There weren't many targets for the guns, so he put some rounds on his artillery and rolled crap. Although, to be honest with, they needed 6s, so yeah.
Change formation.
Over here, we charged some troops up the guts. These guys got into this fight here, and I think they won. Over here, maybe, I'll check that. Over here, we bashed into these guys and ran and won and pushed them back. So that's good. And followed up to stay in contact. These guys were shaken, and so were these ones. So not shaken, disordered, I mean. None of them are shaken. They've all taken only 1 wound each, these guys. We did put a shot onto these, but Sean made his saves. He's making an awful lot of saves against shooting. Yeah, pretty good in the melee, but mainly against the shooting, it's been really quite remarkable. I did move these cavalry to charge this slot, pushed them into square. Yeah, I couldn't follow up to charge them with anything else. And of course, one of the major problems is these hills. We're determining that anything that's behind the hills can't be shot by artillery, even if the artillery is on its own hills. With the basic idea being these hills are taller. So that's really constrained what I can do with my artillery. So these guys, even though they're perched on the edge of the hill, they're not a viable target. All the targets over here are a little bit busy, and I can't see anything that's behind this defensive row of hills. Basically, the French have given themselves a reverse incline, is that what it's called? Whatever it is. Reverse slope, yeah. Effectively, we're attacking over a reverse slope, which I didn't really know when we first set up. I might have put the artillery in the middle and pushed harder on the flanks otherwise, but that's what you get when you're trying to smash out a very big game on a school night.
I could charge them and maybe cannon into those.
Okay, lots of interesting things going on now. Gentlemen, what's happening in the middle? I can see an awful lot of biff going on, but
Yeah, there's been a few attacks.
It's -1 because you're within.
Got stalled.
do any damage to these guys there with the British infantry?
Let me do my movement first. Is it
I can't
are we
see it.
moving? Can't see it. Can't see it.
Forget if that was
But
a
we're
draw
doing
where
all
the
the
British
moves,
won,
6 of
but
them.
the French won that one.
See what I
Oh, okay, so there's British are hurting a little bit.
Is it our turn?
Why didn't we...
We shook that.
Guys.
I shook the other cavalry?
Yeah.
Alright.
We've shaken both those units, but they're marauders, so it doesn't
Oh, so
matter.
they don't care.
These guys only got 1 move, so they didn't get up to attack that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Did they...
We did hit those guys,
Which guys? Which guys?
the artillery.
Oh, you shot the artillery. Oh, okay, well, they're hurting. They're shaken by the look of things. That's good.
Yeah, I should have shot it then.
No, I'll do it now. So we'll see what happens there. So this game is an awful lot of people trying to bash things and not quite finishing things off. Very interesting game. So we will now move into the French turn 4, which is really not... I don't need the French to have a turn, frankly, but they do get one. So we'll check in after that. End of French turn 4. It was an interesting one. These guys fought, and there was a tie. We rolled for morale. They stayed where they were. These guys pulled back, but both units are shaken. These guys finally bashed up those guys in front of them, and that unit fled. So these guys are reformed to have some options on where to charge next. In this fight here, I think we won. Yeah, and they rolled and they're still there. Now, these heavy cav charged into my light cav and beat them up rather badly, but I did knock a wound off of them. And then they charged into these guys and bashed them up and shook them. But again, we knocked a wound off. So that's not too bad. Unfortunately, that cracks one of my brigades. The horse brigade is gone. We weren't expecting much from them. But this infantry brigade is gone, which means while these guys stay in combat, this unit here is going to start falling back, and so is the infantry gun attached to them. Right, what happened with the British?
The British last turn, Highlanders held on there,
Very good.
but these two units are now shaken.
That's right,
So
therefore
that's
fall
gonna be
back.
falling back, and I think there's a draw over here. as well.
Draw on the fight, but this unit is shaken. So there's quite a few shaken British, which is unfortunate.
The Highlanders go.
Which I should flag, this is a very tough fight because it's almost identical points, but we have to attack and push through a prepared position. So we will we'll see how much of our forces are left on the table at the end of this turn after things have started falling back, but we are going into turn 5 for the Allies. End of turn 5, we think, for the Allies, and you know what? We have busted the French on this side, which is just as well because we busted 2 out of 3 Spanish. Let's see. The cannon managed to roll a clean sweep of 1s against those horses there. That was unfortunate. We did want to knock out that unit because some of their other guys are shaken. In the melee, we shook these guys, but the infantry they were fighting got so bashed up they just took off. But that's okay because they're part of the brigade that was already fleeing. That one there in that brigade. We do have a casualty-rich environment on the Spanish flank. These guys passed their orders and got in the back end of these guys and bashed them up good. They stuck around, they were really good morale, but they did lose the combat. So this brigade of that infantry, the one that has already taken off this unit and this unit, they're cracked and their guns go. So this unit, those guns and those infantry all fall back. As for the British, they had a rough time of it. They're in a fight, but they've taken so many casualties that the brigades are basically cracked and falling back. But they can't run away just yet because they're all locked in the brawl. Yes, there's
engaged on the far flank.
Yeah, so there's a second British brigade is in fight over there. So it's interesting. I thought the Spanish would have been more shattered earlier. And the British have been very methodical in having a good fight, but actually they're being overwhelmed. That was unexpected. So we're going to finish up with turn 5 for the French, and they might polish off a bit more of our forces. End of French turn 5. Now the French, we're going to say they've won the day, because even though we've cracked them over here and they're falling back, I've lost 2 out of 3 of the Spanish brigades. So the Spanish are basically going to fall back.
They're exhausted. They're falling back.
Yeah, I mean, they smashed the French in front of them.
No, they didn't.
They did. We smashed ourselves in the process, but we did smash the French in front of us. We nearly got the bloody cavalry. They're hanging on by... The French cavalry's hanging on by a thread.
What?
Well, these guys are at 3. These guys are at 2.
They're at 0.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's only a brigade of 3. So I've only got to take 1 more wound off and they're buggered off. Unfortunately, the English just...
What do you mean giving him? You mean giving him marijuana or something?
No, he's done a good job.
If you want to go down that rate, mate, I hate to say it, but there's going to be some accusations. Anyway, so the English... actually, they took on a lot over there when you think about all the stuff they're up against. And they copped the point-blank cannon fire over here, which was quite annoying. Yeah, that unit of artillery there did quite a bit of damage to the English. So the bottom line is we had a situation of about 800 points versus about 700 points, and we had to attack. And we're using 2 armies best suited for defence to attack against an army which is well suited to attack, which was only happening as a scenario because this game is part of a much bigger campaign. The Iberian campaign's been going on for a long time. And what's happening is the general of the Iberian campaign on the Allied side... actually, I might ask you to explain this, Chris. You know what's going on better.
What's happening is the Wellington is using splinter groups of British, like tonight, and Spanish forces to pin French marshals well away from Madrid while he marches on Madrid. So he's using these forces expendables so that he can take Madrid with his main force.
Yeah, so the expectation that we ever actually get crack through the French line and take the port that's not really what the general of the Allied forces is trying to achieve.
Would have been handy if we did.
Would have been nice, but the main job was to get in there and do some damage and keep them busy.
Away.
Which we did. I mean, we cracked a brigade, and nobody gives a shit that the Spanish brigade cracked. The English are going to fall back in good order, shooting as they fall back. So lots of casualties, and we disrupt the French from doing what they'd rather be doing. So we've got a tactical loss because our brigades are falling back, but strategically we've created the conditions which the French general wanted. Sorry, the English general wanted. The irony, of course, is that the English general has set up all the battles he's supposed to be fighting to be very favourable to himself, because it's scenario-based, not points-based, and he's fucking losing them. he's outnumbering like 2 or 3 to 1, and he's losing them. So, what can I say? That was a lot of fun. All right, gentlemen, what have we learned?
Highlanders are very tough.
Highlanders are
Oh
tough.
yeah, we're other
The
bastards.
Spanish, although the rules don't suit
We're
them,
over
can
there.
actually hold up a flank.
Yeah, we went hyper-aggressive over here, and while we lost units, we weakened the targets while we were at it, and that meant that when we hit with the next wave, they actually knocked out some guys.
And I think the other thing probably is a learning thing is that use your cavalry wisely, because if you lose them early, I lost the British cavalry quite early, it leaves you very vulnerable.
It does, and I sent my cavalry on what could only be described as a suicide charge right up the guts to totally disrupt the French lines.
It helped you get your cavalry, your infantry into position though.
It did. It put them on the back foot, and it had a lot of stuff reacting to my army right early on, which gave the English time to get into position. But what happened to your cavalry? The English cavalry?
It went up against the Prussians.
Oh, that's
and
right.
They rolled very poorly and they ran off.
That's right. You had a cluster of really spectacular dice rolls and lost 2 units of heavy cav against 1
The
unit.
main one lost, then the support one ran away.
Yeah. Well, these things can happen. I mean, it's a dice game. It's always entertaining. We both, I think, people on both sides have got reasons to celebrate or gripe about crazy dice rolls. It's pretty wacky. Our artillery did a terrible job today, but some of our other stuff did a sterling job. Well, on that note, any other comments, gentlemen?
No, thank you all.
Just another great hardcore game.
Oh, fucking singing
the British
again.
still here after General Marcus Van Cookers absolutely slammed them in every favourite.
They're
Yeah.
still there.
You-
They
you-
are still there.
Slam them, you bash them.
Yeah.
Slammed them over here and they're still there.
The other sort of thing
Prince
that didn't work in our
Prince
favour
still
was
waits
that
to
orchard.
And we had
That's the
one,
stubborn buggers.
one French brigade held off 2 Spanish brigades.
No, a whole French, Spanish army.
Whole Spanish army.
There you go.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't just the that infantry brigade though.
No.
The bloody cavalry you had with them did it.
All Spanish
Oh, a little bit of cavalry. Your whole Spanish army helped us.
Well, I hate to say
Yes.
it, but
Oh, no.
given how shithouse my cavalry is and how shithouse my infantry is,
They had 12 plus 3 artillery batteries
no.
versus 4 with 1 cannon
I had-
and 1
I had
cavalry charge.
8 infantry.
1 cavalry charge.
But you need to understand, Sean, that the points value was about even, and I had to attack.
He still outnumbered us, but who cares? Who cares? The victory writes the history and makes the soup.
That's like saying
that we feast upon
they
your
brought
tears.
Gretchen. I had Space Marine Terminators, and they outnumbered us, and we still beat them.
We feast upon your tears of losing.
General Marcus.
I'm going home. Thanks, gentlemen. Chris, I'll see you Friday.
Yeah, 1 o'clock, see you then.
On that note, thanks for watching. I think it's time to call it a night.